Welcome to the award-winning Henderson Today. I'm Rebecca Teal.
And I'm Greta Gosley. Here's your Ready News.
Hey Reddies, here's what's happening this week on campus. On Sunday, April 8th, SAB will show the movie Pitch Perfect 3 at 2 p.m. in the Garrison Lecture Hall. On Thursday, April 12th at noon, there is a Pulse pop-up party out on the quad. On Friday, April 13th, the softball team will have a doubleheader at 2 and 4 p.m. against SWASU. On Saturday, April 14th, cheer and dance will be holding tryouts at 8 a.m. in the Duke Wells Gymnasium. Softball will also complete its 4-game series against SWASU on Saturday at 12 and 2. On Sunday, April 15th, SAB will show the movie Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, at 2 p.m. in the Garrison Lecture Hall. I'm Rebecca Teal with your campus calendar.
In honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Henderson and Ouachita are holding joint exhibits showing outfits inspired by what university students were wearing at the time of their sexual assault. April 2018 is themed Embrace Your Voice, and the What Were You Wearing exhibit in Huey Library embraces the voice of 16 Reddies who are willing to share the stories of their sexual assault. The purpose of the exhibit is to raise awareness over sexual assault and to remove the stigma that is attached to the clothing of the victims of sexual assault. The U.S. Department of Justice reports that 1 in 4 female undergrads will be sexually assaulted before graduation, and the American Civil Liberties Union estimates that 95% of college rape goes unreported. Sexual assault is a broad range of forced or unwanted sexual activity that includes rape and attempted rape. Manipulation, physical or emotional coercion, psychological force, threats, and intimidation are common components of campus sexual assault and are demonstrated in the text of the exhibit. The joint exhibit will be in place from April 2nd through the 20th in the Huey Library and at OBU's McClellan Rotunda. Information about sexual assault prevention, consent, breaking the cycle of domestic violence, and Title IX are available to visitors of the exhibit. For survivors of sexual assault, information about the confidential Be Silent No More group can be found by calling 501-984-2333.
The culmination of 3 or 4 or 5 or more years' work, graduation. This year's spring commencement will be held on Friday, May 11th in the Wells Center Gymnasium. Ceremonies will be held at 9 a.m. and noon. The 9 a.m. ceremony is for graduates of the College of Business and Teachers College. The 12 p.m. ceremony is for graduates of the College of Arts and Sciences. Graduation applications for spring 2018 graduates are due by April 18th in the registrar's office. The first step is completing the graduation survey on My Henderson. After the survey is finished, a major with the major-specific professional advisor in the advising center is required to obtain the physical application and checklist. After meeting with professional advisors, graduating seniors must meet with their faculty advisors and department chair for applicable majors and minors. This part of the application that has been reviewed by advisors and chairs is due at the registrar's office by April 18th in its completion. After that, hopeful graduates can breathe a sigh of relief and wait for an email to their school email accounts. This email will contain a copy of the application, and then it can be taken to the business office in the 3rd floor of Womack Hall, along with the $50 graduation fee, and then to the Ready bookstore to order caps and gowns.
Remember that iconic photo of Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears in head-to-toe denim? Do you have an outfit that could rival that? For Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Henderson is holding Denim Day on April 25th from 12 to 2 on the quad. There is a $100 prize for the best denim outfit and a $50 prize for second place. Learn about the history of Denim Day, available resources, and the statistics of sexual assault in your favorite pair of stretchy jeans.
Wes Anderson's newest film, Isle of Dogs, was released last weekend in limited theaters. Although I haven't seen it yet, I still think that now's the perfect time to rank his previous 8 films. Although I hold all of his movies close to my heart, my least favorite has to be his first film, Bottle Rocket. Written by Anderson's frequent collaborator Owen Wilson and himself, Bottle Rocket stars Owen and Luke Wilson as 2 friends who attempt to pull off several heists to accomplish their 75-year plan. This being a Wes Anderson film, the plot isn't exactly that, as it segues into romantic comedy subplots and has a very loose feel to it. Although it's certainly a prime example of an auteur in the making, Bottle Rocket doesn't have enough of Anderson's idiosyncrasies for this to be one of my favorite of his. Regardless, it's still a fun, funny, and emotionally resonant watch. Anderson's first foray into stop-motion animation, Fantastic Mr. Fox, has to be my next in my ranking. It has all the trademark whimsy and comedy, albeit while allowing for a PG, kid-friendly rating. With a dynamite cast including George Clooney, Meryl Streep, and Bill Murray, and Willem Dafoe, everyone's pretty much at their quirky best here. All in all, though, the animation holds it back from being as effective as Anderson's live-action material. 2012 Moonrise Kingdom is perhaps the most twee movie that Anderson has ever made, and that's saying a lot. It's the story of a young Cub Scout and his girlfriend who run off with each other. They cause a town-wide search that includes the girl's parents, Bill Murray and Frances McDormand, the town sheriff, Bruce Willis, the entire Cub Scout troop and their leader, Edward Norton, and an assortment of other oddballs. It's a charming, funny, and heartwarming tale. Anderson's third film, The Royal Tenenbaums, comes in at number 5 for me. With another stellar cast, which includes Gene Hackman, Ben Stiller, Angelica Houston, Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, Gwyneth Paltrow, Danny Glover, and Bill Murray, this is perhaps the most star-studded of all of his films. It's the story of a family's patriarch, played masterfully by Hackman, trying to get himself back into his famous family who has fallen on hard times. It's hilarious and weighty, and has one of the best endings of any of Anderson's films. Perhaps the most critically acclaimed Anderson film, The Grand Budapest Hotel, comes in at number 4. Budapest was nominated for 9 Academy Awards and won 4. Led by Ralph Fiennes in one of the best performances of his career, the tale is set in 1932 in the glory days of the Grand Budapest Hotel and follows a young bellboy, played by Tony Revolori, who Fiennes takes under his wing. It's one of the most visually striking movies of the decade and features a finely tuned script that has humor, action, thrills, romance, and sadness. It's one of the darkest Anderson films, but it stands just outside of my top 3 favorites because I don't think Anderson let his extended cast, which included Willem Dafoe, Adrian Brody, Jude Law, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Harvey Keitel, and Edward Norton, do as much as they could have done. It's still a spectacular film, however. At number 3 on my list comes The Darjeeling Limited. This 2007 comedy drama stars Adrian Brody, Jason Schwartzman, and Owen Wilson as 3 brothers on a cross-country train trip through India as they cope with their father's death. This is perhaps the most underrated film in Wes Anderson's catalog, and it is criminally underseen. The cast are all performing at the top of their powers. Darjeeling is hilariously funny, but it also has the power to turn on a dime and become incredibly sad without feeling like its tonal shifts betray the audience. It's a wonderful film that deals with depression, acceptance, and familial relationships in beautiful ways. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou is the second best Wes Anderson movie. Starring Bill Murray as Zissou in one of his best roles, the film, at its basic roots, is about a famed oceanographer who's past his prime, that haunts down a jaguar shark that killed his partner. I'll admit, I had to let this one grow on me. The first time I watched it, I dismissed it as a pretentious and overly silly film. However, upon rewatch, I recognized its emotional core, and I've loved it ever since. Plus, seeing the likes of Jeff Goldblum, Cate Blanchett, Owen Wilson, Willem Dafoe, and Angelica Houston venture out to sea with the sounds of Sue George's Portuguese David Bowie covers is about the most fun you can have while watching a movie. Anderson's second film, 1998's Rushmore, has got to be my favorite of his. This Bill Murray, Jason Schwartzman, and Olivia Williams starring romantic comedy drama is the most deftly accomplished film that Anderson has ever directed. It features his sense of humor and his passion for whimsy, and at the same time it has some of the most emotional storytelling of his career. This is the first movie that really let Bill Murray embrace his dramatic side, and it's also his best performance. This is a movie that will stick with you long after the credits roll, and it also has one of the best Wes Anderson soundtracks, so there's that. So if you're looking for a funny and sweetly moving time watching movies, you can't go wrong with any of Wes Anderson's catalog. Also, keep on the lookout for his newest film, Isle of Dogs. I bet it's badass as well. As always, this has been Pistol Pete Tubbs.
Thanks for watching Henderson today. I'm Greta Gosley.
And I'm Rebecca Teal. Follow us on YouTube at HSU TV.